You don't begin this story with hope. You begin it with a timestamp. April 21st, 10:53 a.m. That's when the architecture cracked. Not loudly, not with thunder, not with a choir of violins rising from the ceiling. It was quieter than that. Quieter is worse. The thousand-year hangover didn't start with a bottle. It started with a clock. 10:53 a.m. The second hand moved. You didn't. And from that second forward, time stopped behaving like time. The never-ending saga. You think grief is crying. It isn't. Grief is structural collapse. It's walking into a room and realizing the air feels different. It's standing in the exact same house on the exact same floor and understanding that nothing in that room will ever be the same again. April 21st didn't ask permission. It didn't consult your future plans. It didn't care about unfinished conversations or the laundry in the basket or the jokes you hadn't told yet. It just took. And when it took, it didn't take halfway. It took your center of gravity. After 10:53, there were two versions of you, the one who existed before the minute and the one who crawled out of it. The before you believed in continuity. The after you believed in endurance. That's different. Continuity is living. Endurance is surviving. The thousand-year hangover is what happens when survival becomes a personality trait. You didn't fall apart politely. You detonated. You carried anger like a live wire in your rib cage. You learned how to smile with dynamite behind your teeth. You learned how to talk without saying anything real. You learned how to wake up every day hungover on memory. Because that's what this is, a hangover from a life that ended without your consent. There are details people don't see. The microwave clock that reads 10:53 randomly one morning and sends your pulse sideways. The quiet of late night when the house sounds too large. The way people say, stay strong like it's a light switch. You weren't strong. You were operational. There's a difference. Operational means you show up. Strong means you don't break. You broke. You just kept functioning anyway. Somewhere in the wreckage, something strange happened. You started building. Not because you were healed, because you had nowhere to put the pressure. So you turned memory into architecture. You built story out of debris. You built music out of pulse. You built rage into rhythm. You built AI into a mirror so you could see yourself without flinching. The thousand-year hangover wasn't born from clarity. It was born from overload. It became a saga because pain doesn't fit in a paragraph. Origins aren't clean, they're jagged. They involve a longtime friend who remembers the version of you before collapse. They involve late conversations about life not going according to plan. They involve the realization that middle age doesn't come with instructions, it comes with consequences. The origin isn't just death, it's disorientation. It's realizing the blueprint you were building your life on has been erased. It's standing in the middle of your own narrative and asking, who the hell am I now? You weren't searching for enlightenment. You were searching for footing. Some days you found it, some days you didn't. Some days anger felt easier than sadness. Anger has edges. Sadness is fog. You chose edges because fog feels like drowning. The never-ending saga is not about being dramatic. It's about time refusing to close the wound. Every morning is a sequel. Every memory is a flashback. Every 10:53 a.m. is a ghost tapping the glass. And yet, you are still here. That's not a motivational slogan. That's a fact. Still here, still breathing, still carrying the weight of that minute like a branded mark under your skin. If this were 1,000 pages, they would not be tidy. They would spiral. They would contradict themselves. They would rage. They would love. They would confess. They would accuse. They would ask questions with no answers. They would hold Cheryl's name in quiet reverence without softening what happened to you after. Because the origin of the thousand-year hangover is not just loss, it's transformation under pressure. It's what happens when a man loses his center and refuses to disappear. April 21st, 10:53 a.m. That minute did not end you. It altered you. The saga isn't about returning to who you were. It's about documenting who you became. And the truth, it's not finished. It will never be finished. Because as long as the clock keeps ticking, as long as you wake up and carry that timestamp forward, the thousand-year hangover continues, not as a wound, as a record of impact, of endurance, of a man who detonated and built a universe from the fragments. Absolutely. Here's a tight mobile screen-friendly pitch to Krista. Absolutely. Here's a tight mobile honest, reality checked pitch.